Yep. Oh wow, that fell right off. Let me try that again. Hello. I am currently driving, yes. And I am not ashamed to say that I am. But I'm hands-free. And I wanted to talk about something that I saw today that kind of bothered me, actually. So I won't say where I was or anything. I don't want to give away the person. I actually don't even know the person, but for some weird way, they were to find out that I was talking about them. No, I overheard somebody saying how they have this passion, this business idea that they had put together and created this model for this plan, but then they invested all their money in someone else, and they were disappointed that that person did not follow through, and in the end kind of screwed them over with their money. So my question always is, I mean, I love that they had a dream, and I love that they were willing to invest in it to make it work, but why didn't they invest in it themselves? I understand you don't always have the money, and sometimes you have to get help to do things. That makes complete sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is you put all your stock in someone else with your dream. So I have a dream of being, I don't know, let's say I have a dream of being the next president, which I don't. Why would I invest in someone else to make that dream happen for me? It's not gonna work. Who's gonna care about you as much as you care about yourself? And I'm not trying to sound like I'm preaching, but I kind of am. At the end of the day, this person had a really great idea, and I was like I was listening to them speak, and like they were arguing, they were getting really, they were both agitated because I could see this person was so passionate. This was something they had, and they were even saying, I spent X amount of money, I spent all these years working towards this, and now I lost it all. I have nothing, and for what? I'm only fattening your pockets. So I don't know. My question is, I guess, why do that? Why take all that time, all that energy, all of your dreams to put them into someone else's hands and trust them with your dreams? Only you know what you want to do. So I don't know. That's something that like I've been racking my brain over, because I know I have ideas for things that I want to do in my life, you know, goals for myself, whether it's career goals or it could be social goals, like when I want to get married, when I want to have kids, things like that. It could even be financial goals. But like, you can't expect someone else to do right by your goals, right? Maybe I'm wrong for that. I don't know. So it was very interesting to me. And I hear a lot of people talking about like, oh, New Year's, like this is the time, this is my time, this is my year. Yeah, it's only your year if you make it your year. You can't expect Billy, Bob, Joe, or your next door neighbor, or your boss, or your cousin, or your sister, or your whoever to make your goal work for you. So I don't know. It was very interesting. I was nervous though. They were really getting emotional. They were really arguing really loud. It was getting kind of heated actually, but that was something that I was just kind of like, wow, you know, here's somebody that has this idea that, again, I thought it was a great idea, and I thought it needed some tweaking. I thought it needed some work, you know, there were some ways that it could have been better, but at the end of the day, this person put all their eggs in someone else's basket, and then they were upset that it didn't work out. And the guy, I mean, no matter how close you are with someone, they're not going to care about something as much as you care about it, right? Right. So, I mean, it's very interesting to see. I mean, I hear a lot of people nowadays talking about, like, you know, this is what I want to do in 2017. This is what I want to do by 2018. This is what I want to do by X date, whatever. This is what I want to do by the time I'm 50. And it's kind of like, yeah, but how do you go about doing it if you're not going to invest in it yourself? How do you expect it to happen? So, that's a little side rant. Or major rant, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, there are a lot of exciting things going on in sports right now. I personally watched the Giants game yesterday, or I should say the Packers game yesterday. The Giants just happened to be on the field. Now, I do feel bad for them. I mean, I think the Giants are a great team. they made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. I'm an Eagles fan, so I thought that we had crushed our playoff dreams, and we didn't. I was excited when I thought we did. But, I'm happy they got in. Good for them. They deserved it. They had a pretty spectacular year. It's just a shame to see now, like, I've been reading all the headlines and everything about critics and what everybody has to say about the Giants and what they could have done differently, what they did wrong, going to Miami, running around during warm-ups without a shirt on. At the end of the day, they got outplayed. Period. The Packers that's no slump team. It's not like they lost to the Bears or something. They lost to the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and Randall Cobb is an amazing receiver. So no knock on them. I mean, people can blame the Giants' loss on Odell Beckham Jr. being immature, and I think he does have things to work on. He's young. He's a young, talented player, and I think a lot of people put so much weight on athletes and celebrities and people that are talented at such a young age because they expect so much from them since they see so much from them. But at the end of the day, he's still young. He still has maturing to do. You can't expect him to be as professional. Granted, we would love for him to be as professional and mature as some of the veteran players in the league, but it takes time. They didn't join the league and suddenly become how Tom Brady is, or even he's had his Deflategate issues, which I'm so sick of and tired of hearing about, which I think I finally have heard the last of. But I mean, every player has a period of growth, a time where they have to take their talent and what they're in. So they just signed a contract, just got on a team, now they're in the league, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, whatever the case may be. They have to take some time to adjust to that. Going from being a college athlete or sometimes a freshman in college to being a millionaire, having everything given to you, never having to go to class or anything like that. And this goes for celebrities too, not just athletes, celebrities too. You're 17, 18, 19, 20 years old and you're given the world. You're given cars, you're given parties, drinking, money on top of money. Now you can afford a house for yourself, a house for your mom, maybe a beach house, whatever. What do you expect from them? I mean, and that's what I see from Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, I think he's just a player that is in that, sadly, still in that growth transition, maturing period. I think he is unprofessional, but I think he's talented, and I think it's a shame. It's only him hurting himself. He's not hurting me by not being more professional. He's hurting himself. So the more Beckham continues to mature and become when his talent crosses over to how he is on and off the field, then he will be a player that maybe can compete with the Green Bay Packers and beat the Green Bay Packers in a wild card game like yesterday. I think they were the better team. The Giants were the better team. It's just they got outplayed. They weren't the smarter team. They weren't more prepared. In my opinion, I think they were focused, but focused in the wrong way. And if you've ever been an athlete, you know you can be over-focused. Like, I remember I played soccer in college and a little bit of pro, and I remember sometimes in games I'd be so focused, I'd come out the first 5 minutes and I'd be tired, and I didn't sub out. I played like the whole game. So to be tired in the first 5 minutes is it's not good. It's really not good. And so I would find times where I'd be like, okay, now I have to relax, settle in, catch my breath, and just play your game. And I think that that's where he has to be, and the Giants as a whole. I don't think it's just him. There's more than one person on the Giants. Just like the Packers did not just win with Rodgers and Cobb, and for all as good as they are, they had other players on both ends of the ball. They had their coaches. There were more people involved, and that's what people fail to realize that, yes, Odell Beckham Jr. punched a hole in the wall, and he slammed his head against the wall, and whatever the case may be. Okay, that's great. He's not the Giants. He's on the Giants. And right now, he's in that period where he's over-focused or over-excited, over-anxious, whatever the case may be. This is all new to him. And one day, he will settle in and just play his game and be more professional. But I can't speak on the Steelers game and the Dolphins game as much. I mean, the Steelers are just rolling right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the whole game. I was busy working, so I didn't see it all, so I can't even comment on everything. But I do know that the Steelers are a team that I think as of right now, I am putting in, I don't want to say it, I think that they can win. I don't know if I'm going to say it. I don't want to jinx them, but I think that they're someone that I favor in this playoff run. I mean, of course, there's still the Patriots, the Cowboys. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going to happen with the Cowboys, because all season they've been saying, well, Dak's doing great, but Dak's doing well, but, and waiting for this moment in the postseason where everyone thinks he's going to fail because he's a rookie and he's not experienced. And this is ironically much like Odell Beckham Jr., who, in my opinion, is not professional. We'll see how professional Dak is. Experience does not always mean being in that situation for years. You can be a mature